Good morning. This is Michael Hearn with WritingBetterResumes.com. Today we're going to talk about how to write a resume. We're going to talk about one sales strategy that you ought to be using to get better results from your resume and cover letter. In other words, use this and you'll get more interviews from the same number of submissions. So right now, if you're getting a resume, one interview for every 10 resumes you submit, you start using this technique, you might get 2 or 3, or maybe even more. But you are going to get the, better results by using this sales strategy. And this is a technique straight out of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it is to be interesting, be interested. That's a classic book. If you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get out there. You ought to be reading it. It's probably at your public library for free. Anyways, let's stay on track here. To be interesting, be interested. The concept here is that people have selfish interests. They are not interested in you or your agenda. They are interested in themselves and their personal agenda. The same thing is true of a hiring manager. They're not looking for a new buddy to go to work with. They're looking for somebody to help them accomplish their goals. And that goal may be to get more productivity out of their staff, out of their department. It might be to, it could be any number of things. But what you need to do is do your homework and find out what your customer wants. In this case, the customer is the hiring manager. What does the hiring manager want? And the more you really want this job, the better you need to know your customer. In other words, if you're just one of those people who goes out and shoots off your resume to anything you feel you're qualified for, you don't care where you wind up working, then, this isn't such a big deal for you. You're going to wind up, working anywhere that, just someplace that they'll take you. But if you really, really want a job, you really want to work at a company, you're looking for this, if you really want this one particular job, then you need to do even more research than the person who's just shooting off their resume to a bunch of people. So how do you do this? Well, you're going to capture information about the job directly from the job listing. This is the elephant in the room that most people ignore. Why? They've got a list here of all the qualities, all the attributes, all the knowledge, all the experience needed to do this job, and it's written typically either in the HR person's words or in the hiring manager's words. See, so on the back end, inside the company, the HR person is going to go talk to the hiring manager. He's going to say, what do you need this guy or girl to do for you? What qualifications do they need? And the hiring manager tells them exactly what they want. They're telling the HR person what their agenda is, what their goals are, what they're interested in. And then that HR person is putting it straight into the job posting. And if you're not gleaning that information and figuring out what is interesting to your customer, the hiring manager, and then tailoring your resume and cover letter based on that information, well, you're not going to get nearly the results as someone who takes the time, puts in the effort to do that. So you've got the job description as probably your primary source of information, but you've also got the company website. If you go to the company's website, you'll be able to find things about the corporate goals of the entire corporate entity. What does this company do? What are they trying to do? What are the people that work there excited about as far as work goes? Did they just land a new contract with NASA? Did they just bring in a big new customer? What's going on in the company? Because this is all information that will help you get in sync with the hiring manager. It's going to help you out in the interview because you're going to have stuff to talk about. But in the resume and cover letter, it's going to help you to know what to include. Okay, and bottom line is this, folks. You need to highlight what they care about in your resume and cover letter. You're going to try to identify their top concerns or the top benefit they're interested in, and you're going to lead with that. You're going to include it in critical places like your objective statement, the PS on your cover letter, the opening paragraph in your cover letter. You're going to highlight skills and experience that are relative to that top concern and benefit. And by doing this, you are going to find that employers are much more interested in reading your resume when you've taken the time to tailor it and customize it so that it highlights and focuses on what they want and need and what they are interested in. I mean, if you got two resumes, one was a generic boilerplate resume that, this guy could have sent to 10 positions, 10 different openings, and you get a second resume that speaks directly to what you're interested in. They open in the cover letter with the thing that you said you wanted most in your job description. Which one are you going to want to call for an interview? It's going to be the person who's taken the time to find out what you want and then show you how you can have what you want by hiring them. And that's what you've got to do with your resume and cover letter. You've got to show them how they can get what they want by hiring you. Okay? Hopefully this has been interesting and helpful for you. I want you to go out and apply this to your resume and cover letter, and you will start seeing better results. And of course, as always, if you want to head over to writingbetterresumes.com, we have a free crash course on writing a resume that's going to teach you everything you need to know about how to write a resume, including a secret sales letter formula you can use to create cover letters that make the reader want to read your resume and give you a call for the interview. You're also going to get a job search action guide there that's going to show you step-by-step how to use your resume and cover letter, as well as 20 video lessons that answer the most common questions about writing a resume. There's more to it than that, but that's it. Head over to writingbetterresumes.com and fill out your name and email address if you want to get that free information. Okay, but whatever you do, make sure that you use the advice you just got in this video to be interested in what the hiring manager is interested in. All right, thanks. I'll see you again soon.